Hi everyone, it's Danny. I'm back with my day 6 through to 8 I think I'm going to do today. So actually all these photos that I'm working on at the moment, none of them have people in them. So this is an interesting way to show you guys how to document photos that you perhaps don't have photos of people. Often they can just be photos of random things. None of these things are particularly Christmas themed things, but I like to include them in my December daily because they're kind of snapshots of what are happening in my life and my family's life right now. I'll go ahead and show you where I'm at for the moment. So this tag is going to be my day 6. It is a screenshot of the weather on that day, and as you can see it was 41 degrees maximum. We've actually already had a day this hot so far this year. It was actually Monday just gone, so it's amazing to look back and see how similar some of the days are to past years. So I am working on 2019 in case you're wondering what I'm talking about and you haven't watched any of my other videos. So this is just a screenshot I took of the weather app on my phone. I'm going to pop it on the back of this tag. That's pretty much going to be my whole day 6, is just a screenshot of the weather. It was very hot. I have this warm wishes tag. It was off the crepe paper, one of the cut apart sheets, and this tag is as well, but I just like that it said warm wishes and it was a hot day because I'm super witty like that, clearly. So I am probably going to flip this tag over so this side shows first. I'm also not sure whether to leave it in the ring like this or to take it out and add it in a different way, because you actually have to have it totally horizontal to be able to turn the page. Otherwise the tag tucks underneath the next page. But I'm going to worry about that later. I think this page I'm going to leave as is because I don't actually have anything to put on this day. I kind of look like this journal card that says it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. I thought today was a good day to put it on as a filler page because it's sort of still pretty early in the month, but it's definitely gearing up towards it being Christmas. Day 7, I have a photo. I just printed it out. Get that. So this is my photo. It is a picture of this room that I'm sitting in now being renovated. So last year this was still, as you can see, the floor is bare concrete. The walls weren't painted yet. We just finished fixing the ceiling and replacing the window frame and doing other repairs like that. And this is the trestle table my husband had out with all the paint sitting on it ready to paint the room. And I've put my journaling straight onto the photo in my Photoshop program. Actually looking at it now, the font is a little small. I probably would have preferred to do it a little larger, but I can read it just fine, and I'm going to leave it because I'm really running out of photo paper. I don't have much left. I have to go to the shops tomorrow, but I'm really pleased with that. I printed it out in black and white. It's not completely unsaturated. There is a little bit of color in there. It's slightly yellow toned. And I did that because the photo that's going to go on this page is this one. And it's very warm toned, lots of yellows, lots of reds. So I didn't want this to be totally just stark black and white with no color in it. So I did print it on a sort of warmer filter. And so that is just going to go in there pretty much. I'm going to just pop the number on somewhere, and this will be a full page photo over here. I may journal on this page. I may just add the number and call it good, maybe a couple of stickers. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's summer fruits. What I actually might do is just take my little puffy alphas and just spell out summer fruits around the curve of the bowl. I really like that idea. One of the only things I like about summer. I don't like summer, but I do love the fruits. So yeah, that's where I am at for that. So it's going to be pretty simple. Nothing too creative for these 3 days. I will take these out of the rings and pop it on fast forward for you guys. So to start with, I'm just going to pull my tag out and pop my photo onto the back. Now you can see that I haven't printed it out fully as a 4x6 photo, and I've just gone into my Photoshop program and sort of shrunk it down so it would be printed out as a 3x5 on a 4x6 photo. And I've done that because I got this printed at a photo lab, and I do that just so that if I have photos that are going to be outside the page protectors, I find they are more likely to hold up if they are printed at a photo lab. My printer prints photos really nicely at home, but they do tend to, they can scratch and the ink can smudge even after it's dry if they handle too much. So I have just done that for that reason. Most of the photos that are going to be inside page protectors, I'm just going to print myself at home, and the rest I tried to get printed at a photo lab. So I've just stuck that on and trimmed off all the excess. Now I'm punching out my hole and just popping on a glittery hole reinforcer. I've just punched that out of gold glitter paper, and I'm going to make another one for the other side of the tag. I'm just going to go through and make a green one from this bit of scrap paper, and you can see I just use a hole punch and then a 1/2 inch circle punch to make those. Really simple. But then I realized I was going to cover that up anyway with this other tag, so I've just pulled that off before the glue dried and popped it onto this tag instead. No point in wasting that. You won't see it once it's all together. I love that Warm Wishes tag. I love the pink and the mint together. It's just so pretty. So now I'm just trying to decide what to do for popping this into my album, and I do in the end decide to just punch a hole in the corner here. So I'm just placing a pencil mark where I think I want it to go, and then I will punch my hole out. And in the end it doesn't look weird having 2 holes at the top there, because I do put ribbon through that center hole anyway, so it looks perfectly normal and fine once it's in the album. So I'm just going ahead and sticking that down. I'm sticking the number over the top. So I could have left that top tag loose, but I just kind of, I didn't want to leave anything to chance with it swinging around in my album. So I just glued them together. And now I'm just going to pop this bit of ribbon in, and I'm using my tiny attacher. And I don't know about you guys, but does anyone else have as much trouble as I do holding ribbon still while trying to get that little staple in? I can never seem to do it. It always takes me forever. So there we go. That is it in the album. I think it looks just fine. Now I'm going to work on this filler page. So I'm just flipping through my 6x8 paper pad here, and I do settle on this nice dark green check pattern. I just really liked how the dark green looked against the pink of my card. So I'm just going to go through and cut that down to a 4x6 size, my paper trimmer. And I'll just stick my card right in the center, just as it is. These journal cards make these filler pages really easy to do, especially if you're just doing a small pocket like this. That is just one single 4x6 size photo pocket there. And I'm just going to stick my photo from the next day straight on the back side of that. And it did end up being a little bit smaller, so I do just trim off the excess once it's all stuck on. There we go, that slides in just perfectly. And now I'm going to add a couple of embellishments to this side, not too much. I'm just digging through my little tray of bits and pieces for my December daily here. I tried some of that chipboard, but none of it really worked. Then I find this little wood veneer holly, which I really like, the little holly leaves, and I am going to adhere that on top of the pocket and have it kind of hang off the edge a little bit, just like that. And I really like how that gives you a little bit of something to grab hold of. It's almost like a tab to turn the page with. So I've just stuck that on with double-sided tape. Now I'm coming in with some die cuts, and I think I just use this lamppost. I really like how that looked, and then I do find a little sentiment, naughty or nice, there you go, to pop at the bottom. And I did go in off camera and trim off most of the white border off that lamppost. It was just a bit too obnoxious for my liking. That tucks in really nicely on the side there. So I'm just gluing those down with wet glue onto my card before I slip it into the pocket. Here we go. And that is done, I think. Yep, so flipping to the next page. Even though I'm doing 3 days at a time, this went really quickly because I didn't go overboard with embellishments or making creative flip-ups or anything. I do decide to put my number 7 just below my journaling there. I liked how it fit into the blank space on my photo just nicely. Now I'm coming in with this 6x8 photograph, and my pages in my album are more like 5¼ inches by 8, or just slightly under 8. So I did have a bit of trouble with trimming this one, and in the end I did decide to pull out the photo that's going to go on the back of this day, and that is that bokeh shot of my Christmas tree. But you get to watch now a very sped up, very long-winded, mucking around version of me trying to get my photo cut down to size. But I get there in the end. There we go. It's done. I'm just going to punch the holes in. So I literally just stuck these two photos back to back. I was just a little bit paranoid about cutting off something important on the other side once I'd stuck them together. So yeah, a bit of mucking around, but there you go. I have it down. And I'm just pulling out my number now. I did initially think about the bottom right there, but then I popped it in the middle of the bowl and I really like it there. And I do move it, but I decide in the end it's just going to go right in the center. I really like how that looks, especially once I've added my alphas to this page. It's kind of just all centered, and yeah, I really like how it looks. So now I'm just going to do exactly what I said I was going to do. Pop in summer fruits in these multicolored alphas from Rosie Studio. They're just little puffies, and I'm going to curve those around the outside edge of the bowl. And I'm really glad I got 2 packs of these alphas because I have used up quite a lot of the colors already, which is my concern with these multicolored alphas, that I would end up with a bunch of just greens or just reds. So I'm glad I did that. I am just going to add one little puffy tree to the bottom of this photo because it was looking a bit blank. But otherwise that's it. I'm going to do a quick flip through of these few days for you guys and then close-ups are coming up, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.